Okay. Hey everyone, so we are here once again with one of my younger clients, but my very good clients and friends here. Antonio, Antonio is here. Uh, Antonio is was one of my clients, sorry, from 2023. And Antonio, for the people who are just watching this video. Can you just give a bit of a background in terms of what you were doing prior to approaching me in regards to wanting to invest in property? And also, can you let us know what clicked for you in realizing that being as young as you are, around the age of 19, 20, that you realized that property investing is something that I want to get into?
Um, to start off, I was just, how can I start this great? In simple terms, I was an apprentice. I was working in the body trade as an accident repair technician. And a quick story, one day on the way to work, no, on the way home from work, I got in an accident. Got in an accident, broke my leg while riding my motorbike. Due to this insurance claim led to an insurance payout where I got loads of money in my bank account. Where when I got this money in my bank account, I was just thinking, doing a lot of thinking, what can I do with this money? At first, I was looking into actually prior to this, I used to watch a lot of videos about investing, but it was more on the side of day trading. That's something I wanted to get my foot into, but also was looking at property on the side as well. But because of my job as an apprentice, I work throughout the day, so day trading wasn't an option. So the best way was to go through housing, but I just didn't know where to start. That was my main problem. But somehow through connections, I knew about you. So that's why I came to approach you to ask more questions. I wasn't even planning on actually buying a house. I was just coming to you to ask more questions for in the future, if I wanted to, the best way to do it. But then how you made it sound and with the plan you was giving me, which was more hands off and only you would teach me on the side, I was like, this is probably the best time for me to buy the house. And since it's kind of common knowledge that everything is going up in price, the longer I wait, the more expensive it will get. So I just thought the best time would be now, since everything, money wise, everything was ready. All I had to do, all I was waiting on was me to say, it's time, let's go ahead. So that's all, that's basically how it started.
No, that's amazing. And I keep commending you, and I know you're not going to get a big head, but it's the truth. I keep commending you at your age for taking that so seriously because most people your age do not see the long term. It's very short term. If they accumulate the amount of money that you did at that time, there are so many things that a lot of people your age, and not even just your age, a lot of people generally put their money into. But even with the knowledge that you knew about property, and then obviously trusting approaching me um, from a consultation point of view to suggest and advise in a way what to do with it and how this can work for you long term, it's amazing. And you took action because unfortunately, a lot of people even have the money. Some people even have the knowledge, but they don't take the action. And because they don't take the action, they're not able to, put a plan in motion to achieve their goals in whatever way. So Antonio worked with me, and you're based in London as myself. How how was the concept in short, in a few sentences? What was the concept, the idea like in your head at first, investing remotely outside of London in a place you've never heard about before, remotely in a hands-off service? Well, how was that for you at the beginning?
Um, in all honesty, it was a bit the easiest word for me to say is I'm very skeptical. So I'll say it was a bit shady to me at first. I was like, I don't know this place, and you hear a lot of stories about bad things that go on in your life in general. So I was like, I don't know this place. This is a big investment. It's a lot for the first time, and I was scared I was gonna get scammed right at the beginning because I didn't. You just told me what you did, and I was like, this is an interesting story. But then after you showed me some links and you on some YouTube videos and other basically videos what I made just now of other people. I was like, okay, it seems a bit trustworthy because I never did my research into you before talking to you at the beginning.
Mm.
So at first it was a bit shady, but you managed to grab my trust basically instantaneously after like a week. I've learned in this world you can't just trust everyone just because you think they're nice persons. You have to do diligence right at the beginning. But
No,
after a
100.
while, it was pretty good. It was really
No,
trustworthy, and I was happy I did it.
good, good, amazing, amazing. So next question is obviously with property investing, I'm trying to tell everyone this. Hurdle come. If it was easy, anyone would do it. But we faced, I wouldn't say problems, but we had obstacles such as obviously being a young landlord, sorry, and you having to gain experience. You had to work with Antonio, the broker, to get you the mortgage. And also on the back end, when we completed, we had some works on the property to be done with Pete, the builder. How was it working with my network and how valuable was that for you during the whole process?
Um, because I didn't know too much about property, I did. How can I explain this? You don't really see the behind the scenes of when someone buys a house,
Mm,
but from what I saw, it didn't look. It looked somewhat straightforward, like a math question. It looks like you negotiate a deal, you send the money, boom, the house is yours. That's not what happened here. It wasn't as simple as that. So as you said, because of my age, it was pretty hard to get a mortgage. Which then it was a bit. It made me a bit sad because it was so much problems happening. I was like, damn, just because of my age is making this proper hard. I was like, this shouldn't be normal. In een boomsuprijs te hard. Me, that. I'm in a little million. Yeah, so that was the main problem with the mortgage. But after that hurdle passed, I was like, okay, this should be smooth sailing. No, it wasn't smooth sailing at all. But one thing I've learned from this experience is that because I know how hard it is to get one, and the hardest will be the first one, that knowing if I do carry on buying more properties, it won't be as hard as this. This was the
mm,
hardest step. And because I already passed this hardest step, it won't become easy, but it will be easier than that. And then with the um after the property was bought, the other hurdles, after renovation was done, everything was sweet. Then we had more problems. And then with how you guys handled it so swiftly, I told you guys a problem. You guys came up with a solution within an hour. I was like, this is just the efficiency was amazing, especially since I didn't know what I was doing. But you guys were very level-headed, and knew what you guys were doing. It just seemed like even if a problem did come, I just let you guys know. You guys will come up with a solution, and it was just the problem was solved. So
mm.
especially with someone that had no experience, no knowledge, new in the game, and of my age, it just made everything so simple. Knowing that I had people watching my back, knowing if anything went wrong that I don't know, that I could just come to you guys and you guys will give me the help I needed.
No, that's so insightful and powerful. And going through that process now, first time, I know obviously everyone's process is different, but going through that and like I said, hurdles always show up at some point. How important and valuable is it now that you've done it, that you work with experts when it comes to property investing?
Oh, I'll say it's a must do. I don't really know. I think I would have wasted a lot of money if I went the independent route, trying to save money. I think I would have lost money. So it's best that I knew people like you that knew other people. This just made me realize how important connections are
Mm,
if, in life.
mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
simply
good.
put. Yeah.
That's very good, really. And question that I like to ask people as well, clients in this case, is do you think you could have done this by yourself from London? Because
Um,
most of the clients invest obviously outside London, but from where in this scenario, do you think you could have done it yourself?
in simple terms, no, because I would have been a bit narrow-minded with where I'll be looking for the property. I'll be in London or just outside London within maximum like a 2 hour driving range. Because I wouldn't be wanting to go too far just to not get. I'll just feel like I'll be wasting my money. But because you guys had a whole little system Hartlepool, that's like a good 5 hours train ride. I don't see myself ever wanting, if I saw a property out there, wanted to go check it out just on hopes. So, but because you guys had a little thing going out there, made it so much better for me. I don't actually see any universe where I would be able to do this by myself without wasting basically all my money.
Mhm.
I could
That's
tell, I
amazing.
could already tell with all the hurdles that we face, if I had to do that by myself, that I'll be finished. I probably wouldn't even have a house by now. I
Wow,
probably would have gave up because of the amount of stress it would have been giving me.
no, definitely. That's where we come in to, you know, you're not here to sell any dreams or whatever as you've seen, but we're here to alleviate you. Our main goal and focus is to alleviate you of the time, the stress, and help you avoid the bad mistakes. I've even seen people who are experienced in property make as well. So that's really important. So then the last thing I'll ask you is now the result, the outcome. You've got a property in the Northeast, you purchased it hands off through my team, a buy-to-let property. How does it feel now that you're now a young landlord? You're getting your rents, you got a property that you know over time is going to appreciate in value. What does that mean to you, and how do you feel about that?
Um, it seems pretty good, honestly. I feel like one of those um YouTube stories you hear where they say how they started off so young. I don't know how, personally, I don't know how I've done it like this. I feel very lucky that this has happened and I've managed to meet people in my life that's able to help me. But I feel great. It's like a big step in moving on in my life, making a good life for myself, good career. And with the one thing why I thought investing in a house was the best way, because I really did want hands-off passive income that's coming into my account every month. And this, seeing how money just comes in and me doing absolutely nothing, it's just, it's just amazing. I just, I'm just at work. I see an email come through of rent statement for the month. I'm like, okay. And then later that night, money's in my account. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. So it's just, it's amazing that I'm very happy I took that first step because now it seems to be paying out. And especially since I bought the house when I was 19 and now I'm only 20. Just looking at how much money I'm gonna make off this house by when I'm 30 just doesn't even sound real in my head. But it's gonna happen. So it seems like I made a very good first step in life.
No, listen, that's just amazing. And even as you say that, no exaggeration, I'm literally getting goosebumps and excited because that's why we do what we do. And like you said, property is a long game. Obviously, you can get short-term goals achieved and wins, but exactly like you said, the only way is up. And I want to thank you for this time and knowing that we have a long way to go. This is just the first.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always here to help, regardless, and more than excited for what's to come, you know, for you especially. And we're going to be here with you every step of the way. And I will help you in any way I can, you know, and yeah, really amazing. So, Antonio, thank you so much, man. And yeah, this is just the first testimonial of many. You know, soon you'll be the young landlord with a massive portfolio of 50 properties. You know, why not?
That would be crazy. Actually, one thing I also wanted to say, because of my age, I knew that there was going to be some setbacks. But one thing that I was surprised about was when I was speaking with, sorry, when I was speaking with members of your team, how they didn't really factor my age into it.
No,
Because sometimes they try, usually if I speak to older people, they try like somewhat dumb it down. Because I think I can understand a decent amount even though I'm still young. But usually when they dumb it down, it
you're
makes
very
you,
intelligent. You're very
yeah,
intelligent. Let me just say
it
that, bro.
irritates me a little bit because it made me feel like I don't know anything. But when they were speaking to me about the problems, what we need to do, I felt it's like I know technically in government's eyes, I am an adult, but I don't usually don't feel like one. But how they was talking to me was like, I am an adult, I'm one of their business clients. And I just felt respected. I was like, damn, is this what the business world is like? Yeah. I was just surprised. I thought I was gonna get a bit talking down on a little bit, but it was amazing. I was like, damn, everyone's talking to me with respect. I was like, this is great. Honestly, it's a small thing that I just smile about. I don't know why.
No, that's good. No, it's the small things that make the biggest difference because if those small things aren't there or they're missing or they're not done properly, that can actually ruin the experience as well. So and I'm sure there's probably other things that you probably think about after the call, but yeah, thank you so much, bro. And yeah, looking forward to doing more work, helping you grow your portfolio from one to however many you want, man. We're
Yeah,
here to help. So thank you
yeah,
again. Thank you so much.
no problem. Thank you as well.